So assume that this is a requirement doc that your designer gave it to you. The designer says that, hey, we want to build a modal. Here's how they have broke it down. They're like, we need a modal frame component. The frame component could have a card or it could have a panel. It could have a configurable X button, which is like a close button. The modal, obviously when you open a modal, there's basically a overlay which is behind your modal. That's what we call as modal scrim. So and they want your modal to be contextual, like a modal. If it's in the context of success, the scrim color should be like greenish. If it's in error, it could be reddish, bluish, yellowish. Things like that. A modal must have open and close functionality. It should be accessible from any component in a React component tree. Uh, a modal can be open with a component within a modal frame. Modal can be open from different position, it could open just center in your face, could from center top, center bottom, full screen. Modal could have animations, which is like an open or close animation. Uh, Multiple modals can be open, like it can be a modal stack that in simplest terms. A modal can have like different actions. It could be a confirmation modal. It could be like a cancel button. So just to give a context of what I'm talking about, we can basically, yeah. So this is basically an end goal, what we'll be talking about. So this is like a simplest form, which is like modal with a card. Uh, like you can see the knobs. I have basically a warning, so it's like a yellowish color. It says a modal has a title, it has a content, it has footer. So when I say close, it's like closing on the modal will close the modal. Modal can have a panel frame. Now this is like a typical navigation use case where you have a panel coming from the left side. Uh, then I can have a confirmation modal. It basically says, okay, cancel or confirm, whatever. I can have modal over modal. So I can say confirm. It will ask me again. This is like a confirmation modal, right? So, and then I can have modal stack. Have modal on top of modal. I can close this modal, or I can close a modal which is behind me, which is like the modal which opened me. So the parent of this modal can be closed as well. Uh, this is a modal. So when I spoke about the frame, so this is what we have. Like we have two types of frames that can be rendered inside a modal. It can be a card frame, it can be a panel frame, right? We can have a position which is left or right. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, let's come back here. So yeah, now if I have to like derive a gist out of it, it's basically modal can be opened or closed from anywhere in the component tree. We should be able to open multiple modals, which is we should be able to stack modals on top of each other. We should support some animations. Modal have frame components, which could be card or panel. Like it could be anything. I'm just taking an example over here. Like assume that this is what a spec that you get from your designer. Modal has a backdrop which can be of different types, which is like success, error, warning, or info, right? So this is that the color of the screen can change. So like when you get such a spec, right? This is what we as developers have this, right? Like it's like a developer which just wakes up and we're like, okay, fine, let's get it let's get it done. And then our npm search, obviously, like before we build something, we just head over to npm and we just do random all these things, like okay, what do we choose from all these things, or is there anything which is already available, so we don't reinvent the wheel. And which is like a fair choice. But yeah, then we are reminded of bundle size, and we think, oh damn, like we might like things that we need are like available in different packages, and when we aggregate all those packages bundle size, like uh it's like in your face that okay, fine, I can't use this. So hence we decide that we'll implement it ourselves and read the spec thoroughly again that okay, what are the actual requirements, and let's try to get it implemented ourselves from scratch, right? So sure. So from here, I'll just head over to the like this talk is mostly about showing you things and focusing on how you should actually go ahead and start implementing component. This is a strategy that has worked for me so far. So and hence I think it could be of great productivity boost for you as well. So I'll just go ahead and like we'll just go implement this model in action. So I'll just head over to my VS Code. Yeah. So now when I talk about modal component, right? So the first thing that I want to highlight is like this is a practice that I've been following. So before even jumping into the direct implementation of my code, what I do is I use stories, I use tests, and that's how I start writing my components. Like before even I jump into the actual implementation, uh, like think about like how your how your consumers will be using these components, and once you decide that, then all the abstractions or all the details are like completely abstracted out in your implementation, and that should not cause a harm on your developers or your consumers side. So to begin with, again, I'll just start with uh, the stories part of it. So I have like two approaches, like how do we solve this problem, and then I'll also talk about like the limitations of one approach, and then how can we move to the next level. So like right now there's nothing implemented. It's just a story. So because once you start writing stories, you basically know like how your consumers will be utilizing these APIs, or how your consumers will be using these using this component when they want to create a modal in their code base, right? So what I'm doing is, first of all, I need a trigger which will basically open up my modal. So I have just a button element which says, okay, on click, set open true. Now, this set open is nothing but a state hook that I have created over here, which is like by default false. Um, like, and when you think about like, component, I don't know, most of us have like the we have basically gone into the direction of everything should be declarative. And then we do like very direct math, right? So modal again is a classic example of it. So what I'm doing over here is like I have a modal component. I have a variant of a modal which basically decides the scream of my modal, like whether it's a success, warning, info, or error. And then I have is open, which I'm passing the state that I just declared in this component. Then I have a close, which is like okay, that will again toggle my state, and that will basically handle the visibility of my modal. And then I have animation type. So my animation type right now are fade, slide left, slide right. Now, so this becomes my parent, what do you say, container kind of a thing, which takes care of my modal container. And then to render the content inside it, what I have done, I'm rendering basically a card inside it. So this is basically my card component. It's basically nothing but children that you pass to your modal and how it will be rendered on top of your screen, right? So what I'm doing is this is a modal title, this is a modal content, and this is a modal footer. So like I want to take a pause over here, like for like 5-10 seconds, and like just have a look at this code and think about like, do you see any problems over here? Okay, so I'll just move ahead and describe few of the problems. Not really a problem, but basis the use case or the spec that we had decided. So going back to the spec that we had over here, we wanted that modal can be like there are like few things which is like close functionality that basically closes the modal in the stack. We should also have a way to close a specific modal in the stack, right? Now this is the part that is like concerning to me with the current approach. The second is you should be able to open and close modal from anywhere in your tree. So assume that you have a modal provider in top of your React DOM tree, but now if you want to keep on like stacking them on top of each other, this is the problem that comes up with this approach. Um, also think about a use case where you made an API call, and that API call is basically from a function, and inside that function, basically you need to show the modal. So I'm talking about something like this. Assume somewhere in your code you have something like handle, or you say modal confirmation, or you can say handle login, right? Now you say do some API calls. So I did some API calls, and over here I say on the success or the failure of the API call, I want to show the modal. Now with this approach, what you need to do is like if we go with this same approach, what you would end up doing is you will be creating uh, open open. So this is how you'll end up doing it. Like you'll say, okay, set open, you will send it to true, right? And that's how your modal will be opened. Uh, Now I want to like think about it in a from a like can you implement it in a different way, because there are a couple of limitations with this approach. So these are the limitations. So every component, like all your consumer components, they need to maintain their like they need to create their own state to basically control the like visibility of the model, right? So now let's say if I have to create a model over model use case, it becomes very difficult because now my model is like the state of my model is not handled by the model component itself, but it's being handled by the consumers, right? Now, if I have to open or close specific model in the whole tree, it becomes like it becomes clumsy because again, I am not controlling the state. It's basically a control component that my consumers are controlling. Now, if I have to open a model from a function, now imagine it this way, right? Why is it like a difficult task to always in a state to toggle the visibility of any of the component, or to toggle the state of any of the component? Why can't it be a function, right? Think about it in this that way. So with like uh, with this approach, these are like the four limitations. So what I'll do next is like I'll just go ahead and start with a different approach, and I'll also like talk about what I'm trying to do. Let's say so. Let's start the storybook. So what we'll do is we'll build the modal component from scratch, and we'll see how things span out. All right. Okay. So to begin with, as I mentioned, right, I'm not gonna jump directly into the implementation part of it. What we'll do is we'll start with the API part of it, right? So this is what you can see, right? Right now, it's like just a demo, like it's basically a div that is rendered. What we'll do is we'll start creating the component. Now, um, now let's first decide like what we are trying to achieve. Like what could be the first step, right? The limitations are already there. Like we know we need to figure out a solution for these limitations. But like let's write to do over here, right? The first part is you need like you as a library author or like the designer of the component, right? You basically need to control like how many models are there in this in the whole tree, right? In your whole component tree. Now, to achieve that, obviously, which means you need a central place or a central store that is basically maintaining the state of the model, right? Which means what we'll be doing is we need something called context. I'm not going into Redux and all those things because, again, it's not the use case over here. Context would suffice the use case here. So, like, we need a context. like someone or like a central store which is basically tracking the whole component tree or the stack of the models that are already opened or closed. The first thing is like context. Now second thing is I want to like give the imperative API for cases like, if you want to open or close a modal after your API calls, or if in any of your function calls, you should not be maintaining the state inside your model component, because now since I am taking care of the model, I should be able to control things end to end. So for that purpose, what I'll be doing is I need something that could give me a functionality of open model, right? I should have some function called open model. Then the next thing would be I have model open, which means I should be able to close the model as well. So I will say I need something which is close model. And I also need, like when I'm closing model, right? The use case that I showed here, maybe model over model. So let's say if I click confirm, yeah. So when I say open model, when I say close model behind me, right? This should only be possible if I know like what model to close in the entire tree, right? Which means all my models should be uniquely identified, correct? So for that purpose, I need something called model ID, which should be given to me as a consumer, and this is that I can decide, okay, this is the model ID, and I want to close this model. So if I have that, which means my closed model should also be able to take a model ID as an argument, right? Um, so I guess, yeah, this is more or less what we want to do. And then, yeah, obviously we want model to render a component. Like what will you render inside a component model, right? So we need a component to render inside a model, right? So I guess these are like the fair things or like our next steps. So now let's go ahead and start creating like how will the API look like. So to begin with, I'll just say, yeah. So what I want is obviously I'll have something which is my model, um, and then okay, I'll have something called button, because this is what will be the trigger point for my model. So the button is just a function. It says open model, and then we'll say open model. We'll say type equals to button. So far this is what we want. And then when I say open model, I want I want something to be rendered, right? Now, like what do I need actually? So I need model content equals to, I'm just creating a functional component. So I'll say I have a modal card whose width is, let's say, 300 pixel, whose height is, let's say, 200 pixel. And then I say I need to close this modal, right? Which means I'm saying modal close. And then what we'll have is within this thing, at the bare minimum, we need something to be rendered. So we say this is modal title, this is modal content, and this is modal footer. Now, so far, yeah. So far, this is what uh, at a high level, this is what we want. Like we have a closed model. Sorry. So we have a closed model, we have an open model, and this is how this should work. Now, what should be the next step? Now, before like to get this in working, we need to do certain things, right? Certain implementation. So um, let's go back to our to do. Now we said we want a context, right? And over here, I'm not rendering any of the context, correct? So we'll come back to the context later. But yeah, we have closed modal and open modal, which are coming from my context. So this is like partially we have done. Uh, we have modal ID. Right now, we don't need it. We'll come back to the later. We have closed modal. We have open modal as a function. We have component to render inside a modal. So yes, so this is what will be rendered inside a modal component, right? So like now you see the difference, right? I have not yet jumped to any piece of code. What I'm doing is I'm sitting on the other side, basically critiquing like how my API is looking, how will my consumers behave, or how like what is the pain that my consumers will have, so that I can reduce the pain on their end. So it's basically I want to provide a better developer experience on their end. So to have that, it would be better like if like it's always good if you put yourself in your consumers end. So let's go ahead and start creating this model to work in action. Coming back to this, so now when I talk about context, right, there are a few things. I mean, before even we start into context, we need to create a context. So just for simplicity, what I've done is I have created a context over here already. uh, Nothing like it's pretty straightforward. I'm just using create context. I'm also exposing a hook. So again, because I should be able to use my model from my functional components. Now, there's one good thing that I've added as a good developer experience is like uh, instead of like I don't want my consumers to use this. I want my consumers to use the modal context. Now I could directly use this, but the problem is I won't get a user friendly message when something goes wrong. So there could be scenarios or instances where your your developers or your consumers are not using the modal inside your provider, right? So what I've done is I'm just checking, like I've just added a small check which says if modal context is undefined, I just throw this user-friendly message that hey, seems like your Moodle context is not inside a context provider. Please make sure if you're doing the right thing. So this is basically the starting point. So we have our context up and running. Now to make this an action, right? We need like since I'm using Storybook, I need to like for this model to work, I need to add this context to my config. So what I'll do is over here, I'll just go ahead. Uh, so obviously, if you have context, you need some provider so that you can drill down all the values. So I have modal provider. We just head over to this, like what this file is. And yeah, this will just keep on failing because again we are basically going from like we are not implementing the code first, we have implemented the storybook first. So we have modal provider. And yeah, so the next step is we have the context already. Now let's go ahead and see where like what's the next step, right? Going to the stories, like until now we have context. So I say use model context. I need the use model context thing. Model, I need model context. Yeah, over here. Cool. So now we have the context, right? Now the first thing that we want to do is this open model and closed model, right? Uh, these are not yet defined. So who will make this available to me? So it would obviously be my model context equals to use model context. So when I have this, I'll say this is replaced with this. This is replaced with this. So now we have a modal context. Now let's go ahead and make this modal context work. Okay. Now let's head over to modal provider. Okay. So when I said animations, I have few predefined animations already here. I have a modal screen, which is nothing but the backdrop of my model, which is this, the bluish color that you see at the back. I have few variants already defined. So it's like success, error, info. So cool. Now let's go ahead and this figure out like how will our provider actually render the model, right? So the first thing when we wrap our model provider, uh, the thing that it is doing first is like this is the model provider and this is the story, which means everything that is passed inside our model provider is basically nothing but our children, right? I'll just go ahead and I'll say okay, children. Uh, what will this children do? This is just saying, model context dot provider. We don't have values yet. That's what we'll do next. And we'll render our children inside our model provider. So, so we have like, now you can see, right? At every step, it's like we are breaking down, like we want to achieve something. We figured out what we want to achieve, and then we are going step by step towards that approach. Like we are not sitting and saying, okay, what would be the open model, what would be the closed model, or what are the functions, or what are the props I should expose. Like the props part is already solved. Now we want to make all those assumptions that we made for our API to make it work in real. So okay, so the first step is I'll be using portals. So like for people who are not aware about portals, so portals are something which basically uh, is rendered outside your DOM tree, but still React has the control on it. So you can basically head over to the docs and you can read about how models are. So models are basically portals are basically think about it that they are meant for use cases like uh, notification, the toast notification, the models. So things which want to break the boundaries of their parent, because assume in use cases like your parent has overflow hidden or they have a higher z index value, right? But still modal basically wants to be rendered, or the toast notification mostly they want to be rendered on the top of everything, right? So for use cases like that, they have to be outside of the tree, like outside of the parent React DOM tree to which your app is mounted. But now you can't handle it yourself, because you would lose all the benefit of event bubbling and how React controls all your things which are outside your DOM. So what React team has done is like they have provided an API which is create portal. What it does is it first expects like what are the component tree you want to render and where do you want to render, right? So okay, we'll start with that. So when I say I want to render my portal, what I'll do is I'll first create ref, use ref, right? Uh, so why refs? Because I can't make it in state, because those like I want to persist the ref. I don't want it to be created every time, and I want that identifier on every render. So there's nothing best than refs. So what I'll do is to render it, like to give it a container, right? I want to render like I want to create a container and then pass it to portal. So what I'll do is I'll say document create uh, element. I'll say div, right? So I'll basically get it as my current value. So let's see if I'm able to render it. So this is basically my container where my model will be rendered inside my DOM tree, but we still don't have the model. So let's go ahead and do that. Uh, I also want to create model ID ref, because again, I want to create a stack of models, right? So I'll say react dot use ref, and I will say, let's say it starts at 0. So this is basically my ID for modals. This is basically container to which uh, inside which modals my modals will render, right? Now, the next thing is I've been talking about stacking of models, this and that. So, how do we actually create stack? Which is, and also like since I said that I want to give flexibility to my consumers that they should just be able to open models. To achieve that, I want to make my component uncontrolled, which means I want my component or my model provider to control everything as a state. So you as a consumer don't worry about creating states. What you do is like you just go ahead and say, hey, model context dot open modal, model context dot close modal, or model context dot close modal with a particular ID, right? That's basically a developer experience that I want to reach towards. So to achieve that, what I'll do is I'll say I want to create an internal state, right? So I'll say models and say set models. I'll say React use state. Um, yeah. Now this is like a state that will be maintained for my models, right? Now, coming back to our stories, we have a context. Now, this is what is missing, right? This is what is missing. This is what is missing. So let's go ahead and create these things. Um, as I said, that I want to expose it as a function. So which obviously means that I need something called open modal as a function, right? I want close modal as a function. What I want is uh, context values. I say open modal. I say close modal. And remember, right? I also mentioned that we need a current modal ID. Like, what is the current ID in the stack, right? So which means it's like current modal ID. Now this is nothing but I'll be passing this dot current. Now, so far, I have open modal, close modal. What I need to do is we didn't initialize the values. So we said, okay, fine. This is what I want to render. Like I'm passing open modal, close modal, and current modal ID to my provider. So everything which is wrapped inside the context of this modal, they will have access to three things, which is open modal as a function, which will open the modal, close modal, which will close the modal either with the ID, and then we'll have current modal ID. Now, let's go ahead and like make these functions work. So, so again, if you come back to here, right? Like from where we started was we first started with stories. We first figure out like, okay, how will my consumers consume this as a component? And then I moved towards the other side, which is like how do we actually make it work? Like we have the API ready. We know how it will be consumed on the consumer's end. Now we are just making it work. Now, when I say that you want to open a model, right? I don't want to like I want to give flexibility to my consumers that I should be able to control like what is rendered inside the model, right? Which means this open model will basically accept few of the parameters. Now, what will it accept, right? So going back to our requirements, right? Card and panel are just components. Right, which will be basically rendered. Now, with our stories, we already have this. So we have a model card already there. Sure. We need success error info, which is your screen, right? And that needs to be defined. Um, Now we also need, if you look at here, we also need animations, right? Which means we need three things. Like first is I need the component that will be rendered inside a model. I need the variant of a model, which is success, error, info that will define the scrim, the back overlay of my model. The third one is the animation, right? So let's go here and say animation type. And then I say variant, and then I say component. right? So this is what it will accept. Now let's go ahead and make it work. So now when I'm opening a model, the first thing is, since we have a stacking context, right, which means every model that is being opened should have a unique identifier. So every time before I open my model, what I want to do is I want to basically increase the last current identifier, right? So for simplicity, I've just make it a normal incrementing counter, which is my model ID ref. So what I say is model ID ref equals to uh, plus equals to dot current, right? So which means now every time I open a model, I'm basically giving them a unique ID. Now how do I make my models work? So I have set models, right, which is basically my internal state, which is nothing but an array of models that controls how many models are basically open right now. So what I'm doing is I'm saying model state. And since it's an array, I'm saying, okay, spread over the existing state, and then add to it, which is give it model ID, which is nothing but my this. I'm saying uh, give it variant, give it animation type, and give it the component to render. And yeah, that's it. So okay, it's a typo. Yeah. So I have my open model, which is basically okay. I am able to open my model, right? Uh, so now how will these models be rendered, right? Which means I need like for this portal to work, I need to call this API, which is React DOM.create portal, but I haven't done it yet. Sure. So let's go ahead and define that React fragment. Now, what I'll be doing here is I'm calling React DOM dot create portal. Now, what do we need to pass to the portal, right? The first thing is we need the child, which will be rendered. Right now, we don't have anything. So right now, let it be blank. But what we do have is the container, and that container is what we created here. So go here, say model ref dot current, right? So far, so good. I don't see any problem over here. Now, let's see if we can see something as an output. Um, oh, yeah. So since we said over here, I am saying our model accept variant, which is success, because we start with success. Um, and then I say animation type, I'll say fade, I'll say component, and our component is nothing but our model content. Yeah. So, all right. So just for the sake of simplicity, I've also created this component called model card, which is nothing but a you can basically say it's nothing but a thing that would be run inside your model screen. So it has few things which is like on close. If you have on close, it will show the close button. So this is nothing but a normal div which accepts height, width, and an on close property. Um, so let's import that as well. This model card. I want model card. Okay, let's see if we can. Card is also small queues. Okay, there's some problem with the config. Okay, yeah, model provider. Yeah. All right, expected a string. Sure, that is basically because we screwed up here. It accepts something as a React DOM. We pass there. And yeah, okay. Something so that. or a class function for composite command but got undefined about export. Yeah. Okay, sure. Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Content button, open model, um, story FN. Sure, I guess it's not able to pick up the config. Model provider. Yeah, sure. We'll just restart. Let's see if it works. Cool. It is still trying. Okay, no problem. Let's go here. Let's go here and go to the storybook. The storybook config. Okay, sure. I know what is the problem here. Sure, this is what I stood up. Yeah. And then I go to model stories. These are all default exports. Uh, yeah, this is perfect. Yeah. Now let's see if we are able to see something in our DOM tree with so we have model which is being rendered here. We have model demo. Okay, sure. So I did it here. Yeah, and let's see if we can see something. Um, I guess we are seeing something, but it's not ending. Sure. Uh, okay. So I'm going here. I'll just give it as I'm missing something. Okay. So I have created modal element ref, but the thing is, I've just created an element, right? I need to add it to the DOM as well, and I want to do it only for the first time. And when the model unmounts, I want to clear that up as well. What I'm doing is I want to do react.use effect, and then over here I want to say document dot document dot body no document dot document dot body dot append child. I want to say modal element ref dot current, and then I say when I'm returning, which means it's a cleanup function. I want to basically document dot body dot remove child modal. Okay, I want to say const modal element equals to this is to maintain the cycle element. Yup. Yes. So we could see it's something which is rendered, which is my this to say that it is the same thing. I'll say model.test.id equals to model root. Uh, sorry, current.id. Yep. Yeah. So yeah. So this is basically thing which is rendered now. Now, if the thing that I wanted to show was this one. This portal is rendered outside my DOM tree. My DOM tree is somewhere here. Now you can see, right? Yeah, this is my root where my actual React DOM is mounted. But this is something which is basically adjacent to that root, which means it's not inside my actual application, and which is what we exactly wanted, right? So yeah, so what we did was like we are in a pretty good state. We have use effect, we have open model, we have not yet added any element to it. So what we want is we want something to render, right? And it should be rendered once you click the button. So as right, just like right now, I've just created a what do you say a dummy element, but this should be replaced with something called uh, portals. Sorry, uh, we call something called render models. Now, what does that render model do? We'll define it here. Now, the task of this render model is to return elements that should be rendered inside this tree. What I want to do is I'm saying return react dot fragment, and inside this fragment, I have models in my state, right? What I want to do is like things have been pushed into the stack. Now, the way you render is like you just iterate over it and just keep on rendering it, right? So I'm saying models dot map. Now, when we said open model, we passed like three things to it. We will basically follow the same thing over here. Uh, yeah, I'm saying this is now I think yeah, and then I am saying I want to render React. I'll render React dot fragment with key, and then yes, and inside this I'll be rendering my I'll be rendering my modal scrim, which will basically take my props of what do you call it, um, uh, the variant, which is my variant, and I have animation type, which is my animation type, and yeah, I don't want to render component. This is a self-closing tag, and then I'll render my component here. Key should be my modal ID because I want to uniquely identify each element. Uh, I need to make it title cased and something broke because this. Okay. Where is it declared the scope? Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's see if this works. Something broke again. So render method of modal provider string. Okay. Modal scrim. I have not imported modal scrim. Okay. Modal. What is it called? I'm not sure. Uh, something broke here. So my modal scrim. Yeah. I have modal scrim already here. I have provided. Uh, yeah. I have provided animation type, which is animation type, which is fine. I have something purchase this component, and then something is breaking. Sure, you see what broke. Mhm. No composite components, but got object. Check the render method of model provider. Okay, what's wrong? Mhm. Okay, okay. Let's see if I don't render screen. Does this work? Ah, screen is the problem. Ah, let me see. Screen isn't the problem. The problem is something else. So I have model provider to on this. Okay, let's go back to the stories. Um, okay, we have model card which is getting rendered. Model provider. Let me see what I have done. Um, okay, this is fine. This is fine. Okay, this is absolutely fine. Mm-hmm. Screen is also correct. Component is correct. We have download create portal. Render models. I have this thing. Okay. Something is not working. What is it? Context value. I have children. I have render models. Render models is something. Else. Let me just copy this and we'll replace it here. I guess it is same. Let's see. Okay. Um, something is in stories. Provider. Okay. Mhm. So when I trigger this thing, I am increasing this thing. Model ID, variant, animation type, model ID, variant, animation type, component. Sure, let's see what is screwing up. And I am seeing what is models. Let's see. Okay, and we'll see open model. So is there in the open model? Models is an array. We say, yeah, this is expected. I have a component, which is fine. Sure, what's wrong? Model ID, variant, animation type. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's return something. Oh, okay. All right. So when I say models.map, first time it's empty. And then I say, is something problematic with this? No. Model stories. I'm rendering something here. Function. I've got object. Okay, modal provider seems to be a problematic thing. Mhm. Okay. Uh, mm, I'll just return something from here. Ah, this works. Sure. So, which means something is wrong in this part. Okay, now what is wrong? Let's see if screen is a problem. Not sure. Ah, okay. So this component seems to be a problem. Ah, okay. So the problem is this component now. Let's see what this component, why is it creating a problem? Okay, is it, okay, I am saying model card. Model card is absolutely fine. Ah, okay. I'm passing it a function component. I just directly pass the rendered component. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So we have basically got the model up and working. So far, so good. Sorry for that glitch. Happens during the live code. Uh, so now the problem is we need to close this model, right? But right now the close functionality is not working. So let's make the close thing work. The close is like the easiest of all. It's like it will accept a model ID, and then what you do is you say close model ID. Now the thing is, I want to provide a ease of closing the model. Now, if you provide the model ID, I will close that model ID from the stack. Or if you don't provide it, which means it's presumed that you want to close the modal which is at the top of the stack. So what we'll do is we'll first add a check. It's like if modal ID or uh, modal ID ref dot current, right? So this basically says, okay, I want to remove this. Yeah. Now I'll again call set modals. I call set modals. I'll say modals state, and I'll say modals dot filter modal. I'll say modal dot modal ID is not equals to close modal ID. Uh, yeah, too many things. Yeah, is, I'll say modal state dot filter is not equals to const this. Yeah, I'll say this. I'll say this. It's not working still. Um, because okay, something else. It's probably I'm not decreasing the thing. Maybe I just have a look. Um, or did we call it correctly? Yeah, we say close modal, which means I am saying close modal. Uh, no, I am saying modal ID. Yeah, I am just clicking it. I just say this. Okay. Ah, okay. So I'm saying is undefined. So yeah, I'm doing this, I'm saying this. So okay, I'm saying because I want to close the current model, I will just say this. So, okay, it's a problem there. Modal ID of undefined. Sure, I'm giving you now. Okay, sure. Yep. So, so our modal ID is also up and working. I'm basically creating closing the modal ID. One thing which we forgot was once this is done, I need to decrease the ref because the current ID is now like you had like assume that you had like three in the stack. I closed the third one, which is like the modal with like the current modal pointer was at third. I want to reduce that as well so that it doesn't conflicts with the next thing. Okay, so so far we have like gotten into a state of like I have uh, modal. I am like kind of opening a modal directly with a function call, and I'm also like able to close the modal. So this is mostly what I wanted to like talk about. Uh, we'll just go through like what we did for the like past 35-40 minutes. What we said was like when you get a spec, right? Don't just jump into the solutioning part of it. First go ahead and analyze like what could the API look like, right? This basically helps you to come up with better abstractions. Now once you have come up with the set of APIs, what you do is don't just go ahead and implement it first. Put it down in front of your eyes, and then basically first write it down that how will it look like once you make uh, like how will your consumer utilize it, right? Once you have that fair idea, okay, this is what the exact state I want, then you basically jump into the what do you say, implementation part of it. Now, where this helps is basically like we saw, right? There were so many glitches in the like in between, and this is exactly what you do in your day like, day-to-day life as well. Like when you are creating a component, you basically face these errors. Like those errors could be known, unknown, whatever. But what you do is like you basically turn your like this is basically called as red-green development. It's like your screen was red. It was full of errors. You made it green, which is like you made it pass, and you in the end you basically uh, made it work the way you expected, right? Now this basically helps you come up with better APIs, plus you thinking from your consumer's perspective, because most of the time what happens is when you say that we want to build design system, like the team could be different than the team which is using the components, and there's often this gap which says that okay, maybe the team which developed, they didn't think about how the consumers will be utilizing it. So it's basically like when you work in a product companies, right, they often tell you that you should be obsessed with your customers, right? But when you're working in teams like teams which are tools team, or teams which are like whose consumers are your developers, you have to follow the same strategy. Like you should be obsessed by your customer, like consumers, like they should be satisfied with the product over here is the design system. So that's what I wanted to talk about. I mean, we could go ahead and also make it like uh, what do you say, add certain optimizations, like you could put this inside a callback, because you don't want to like keep creating these functions on every render, and because it's in context, which means if you don't uh, memorize them, which means your consumers would be just re-rendered on every state change, right? So the better option is always to put this inside use callback, and you want it just for the first time. Uh, the effect should also run for the first time. Your close modal should also be inside React dot use callback. Uh, okay, dependency array, and then I say this, I close this, which means it's still working. So these are like just tiny optimizations. So don't jump. The second rule is like don't jump directly into the optimizations. First, go ahead, make it work, and then make it better, right? We have not yet covered the modal over modal use case, but I can do that as well. What we can do is we can say open modal from here, and what I'll do is const. Uh, I'll just copy this. I'll say modal over modal. I'll say this. I'll say this. Uh, I'm talking this. This is modal title, modal content. And then you basically say now just keep me watching, like, and you'll realize how simple it becomes. So when you say this, you're just saying, okay, open modal. I'll just copy the variants from here. Maybe we'll change few values. This would be error. I'll say this, and I'll say modal. One modal is the content that I want to pass. And let's see if this works. Okay, I need to give a trigger to open this modal. Okay, sure. I'm seeing close, but I'm passing it as open modal. So what I'll do is I'll create a button inside it, which is exactly this. I say this, and I say button. I say open another modal, and this could still be the. I'll just remove this thing. I'll say this. I have this. Okay, I need to say error. Error. This is another modal title, and this is another modal content, and this is another modal footer. I say this. I open another modal. Okay. Okay, my bad. I'm just keep opening the same thing. I say this. I open another modal. Again. Okay. Seems like again some error was caused. But yeah, anyways, I have this full code up and working in this repo. So the idea is like you should not restrict everything too declarative. You should not restrict everything that your consumer should define. You should not you should not directly jump into the implementation part of it.